your sister and your brother. Get the fuck out of my way, I'm a hedgehog. So for you, here we go. Now for you, come home. I am fucking Sonic, and you can't fuck with me, yeah. I am a fucking hedgehog, and I have spikes on my back. Oh shit! I am fucking Sonic, and you can't fuck with me, yeah. I am a fucking hedgehog, and I have spikes on my back. Oh shit! Here we go. Now fuck you. Come home. Is Sonic gonna be in love with Amy Hedgehog, or is he gonna try to match it to that girl from the fucking other 3D Sonic game? Have some bestiality sex in this game. Woohoo! Bestiality. It's what Sonic's all about these days. Bestiality. It's what Sonic's all about these days. Fucking Sonic. He's back to sell more games, yeah. Whatever happened to Sonic 4? I don't think anyone knows. The project was probably canceled. Here we go. Now for you. Come home. So suck on my balls and shaft, yeah. I am fucking Sonic, and you can't fuck with me, yeah. I am a fucking hedgehog, and I have spikes on my back. Oh shit! I am fucking Sonic, and you can't fuck with me, yeah. I am a fucking hedgehog, and I have spikes on my back. Oh shit! Here we go. Now fuck you. Come home. Super fucking people. Super Boost! Super Boosters! Fuck you and fuck your mother, your sister and your brother. Get the fuck out of my way, I'm a hedgehog. So for you, here we go. Now fuck you. Come home. Super Boosters! And I missed everything right there. Oh, fucking shit, the giant fucking fish! Get on it! Ah! Stupid fish! Whoa!
I want to watch some faggot insult some homo.
And Ziggy Piggy is here.
I need that money. I really do. I need that money to pay my bills. If I could get down on my hands and knees and say thank you and still be on camera, I would do it. Oh no, someone's illegally restreaming you. Oh no. Oh, no, you didn't, you motherfucking piece of shit cocksucker. Mark my fucking
And after
words.
yesterday's very, very fun and exciting Mass Effect Legendary Edition Marathon, I hope that we are all ready to return back to regularly scheduled streaming of my ongoing game playthroughs,
Let this be noticed, live
which
on
we'll talk
internet.
about in just a moment.
You're
We're basically
fucked.
just right
You
back
are done.
to where we had, started, back to the normal scheduling. Okay? So, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to my streams. Many things have happened over the last couple of days. Let's go through all of those things. First of all, on Thursday night, I received false copyright strikes against this channel, and it basically took down all of my panels below the channel with all of my information, which sucks, obviously. People were using those to navigate around different, ways to watch my content. A lot of people actually contacted me over the last day and said, oh, that's how I figure out how to tip and stuff. And, I haven't had a chance to sit down and redo all the panels because I've been so damn busy yesterday with the marathon.
I need that money. I really do. I need that money.
And
pay my bills.
This morning, paying a ton of bills. All right? Because, ladies and gentlemen, if you haven't been following my Twitter, I do have an update for you. So yesterday, we had a crazy long Mass Effect 1 Legendary Edition marathon. 7 hours of gameplay. Overall, the stream lasted about 8 to 9 hours. It was a great time. We got through the entire early segment of Mass Effect. We're now ready to head out on the Normandy and start doing the real missions of the game. So it was good because in one sitting, we got past all of the introductory stuff. When we play again tomorrow, yes, tomorrow is when the playthrough resumes, I'll be able to focus on just, development of the story. Okay? Now, people were incredibly supportive yesterday. All right? I want to say thank you to anyone who was here and who contributed and helped me out in a very big way. I needed the help very desperately because, as I told you guys, today my mortgage is due. In 5 days, my back tax payment is due for the federal government. And I had to pay my car registration. If I didn't pay it in the next few days, they were going to say I didn't pay it overdue. And, that's a big problem. So I had all these things coming due within a few days with no real way to pay them because I was kicked out of the Twitch Partner Program last month. And Twitch had not responded to any of my requests stating if I was going to get paid for at least the few weeks that I was in the partner program last month.
Business related, I still have it.
That's why I did this marathon yesterday. Thank you to everyone who did help me out. You guys absolutely did. Whether, people came by and just hung out and had a good time, whether I came and tipped $1, or people who came and tipped in a big way, whatever you did, it helped out tremendously. I want you to know that, okay? Now, the good news is, let me put it this way. This is not bad news, but we didn't hit the support goal. The support goal that I set up for the stream yesterday was set up to pay everything that I owe in the next couple of weeks so that I would be in a good position moving into the next month. But it was an incredible amount to raise in one day. I personally was hoping for the best, but didn't know what was going to happen. All right? The good news is, what I did raise helped tremendously.
If I could get down on my hands and knees and say thank you and still be on camera,
overnight, as I was asleep, Twitch actually sent me a payment for my partner performance in April. It's not what I normally would make. In fact, I would tell you it's probably about roughly a third less than what I would usually make in a given month.
I'm very confused.
So, obviously that's because they cut off my partnership on April 21st. There was still over a week left in the month. They refunded a bunch of people's subscriptions as well. So there was money that, essentially I would have earned and they gave it back. So they did pay me. It wasn't the full amount that normally I would get. It was a lot less, but they still paid me. So what I can tell you is, and I already said this on Twitter, but I'll say it here publicly on the stream, okay? For those who, between those who contributed yesterday and what Twitch did actually pay me, I have enough to pay everything that I needed to pay in the next week. All these very expensive things, the mortgage, the back taxes, the car registration, it's all taken care of now. All right? In fact, that's what I did this morning, because some people just said on the pre-stream, why didn't you fix your Twitch page? Why didn't you reset up your panels and everything? Well, I was streaming until 8 o'clock last night. I didn't get out of the office till after 9. I spent a couple hours with my wife. Then we went to sleep. And I woke up this morning, and I said, oh, crap, I got paid by Twitch. I can pay all my bills. So I sat here for the last hour making phone calls and or online payments, paying all my bills. So I didn't have a chance to do anything else. Okay? So that's good news, obviously. This is very good news. It means that the immediate crisis is averted. And now, for the rest of this month, I can stream normally. We can have a good time together. We can enjoy all these playthroughs that I've been playing. There may or may not be another new release or two by the end of the month. We can also focus on the upcoming Retro Replay event. All of this is great news. Okay? Very good. But, of course, this does not free up any kind of concern about the future, Much as I said last month when I lost my partnership. For me to be able to stay here on Twitch full-time like I've been doing for the last month since I lost my partnership, it essentially means two things. Number one, people need to contribute by tipping a lot. Let's be honest here. It has to make up for the fact of all that income that I used to get from subbing and cheering. And number two, people need to pledge to my Patreon. Now, admittedly, in the last 2 weeks, I have not had any time to work on my Patreon at all. I've been too busy with everything else. In short term, what did I do in the last week? I got the Better Twitch TV emotes set up for you guys, so now we all have emotes again. I got the command set up for Ask the King, which is going to be in 2 weeks, by the way, the upcoming Ask the King episode, the end of the month, for you to post up your questions. I got it set up so that you guys can now vote on the upcoming Retro Replay event. I did all that stuff behind the scenes. That was more pressing to get that stuff done than to worry about the patron stuff, okay? Oh my God, excuse me. So, what I will say is this. Now is the time to focus on making Patreon more attractive to people who possibly used to sub to the channel. The question is, what can I do with my Patreon to do that? And that's really going to be us working this out for the rest of the month. One thing, obviously, is having a patron goal every month. Raising a certain amount on Patreon will be exactly the same as what it used to be with the sub goal. All right, right here. It used to be, get a certain amount of subs. It'll be raise a certain amount on Patreon every month, right? Now, the question is, what should be a goal? What would be a goal that would be attractive to people to make them pledge to patrons, right? Pledge to Patreon. I don't know. We're doing a Retro Replay event. That's already coming up. That's going to be starting either in late May or early June. What else? Should it be another different kind of fun marathon? Maybe the return of the Indies Marathon? Maybe the return of the Rageathon? What would be another good event that you guys would want to see? This is what we need to know. This is what I need to talk with you guys about over the next couple of days to weeks to try to figure this out so that we can set up Patreon properly. Because I know I've basically ignored it for 2 weeks. I was too busy with everything else. But now that we're past this hurdle, we're past the marathon, now I can sit down and focus on Patreon again. Okay? Twisted Devil Gamer says, why not exclusive content for patrons only? That's an easy answer. I would love to do that, and I can't. Because people have outright told me that if I ever were to do that, if I ever were to do patron-only exclusive content, that trolls would purposely pledge to my Patreon. One troll would do it. Let's say I made it exclusive. If you pledge $20 to my Patreon, there's exclusive content. One troll would pledge $20, get the link, and give the content to everybody. When I started on Patreon 6 years ago, this already was done. People said, no, fuck Phil. We don't like him, so therefore we're just going to ruin everything for him and give out all his Patreon exclusive content. So I could never do it. I could absolutely never do it. I always wanted to, and I was never able to do it. Okay? Because the thing is, if someone truly supports you, obviously they're going to pay for that exclusive access, and then they're not going to steal your content, rip it, and put it all over the internet, so it's not exclusive anymore. Right? So, I don't know, I can't really do that. I can't. Some ideas have been patron exclusive multiplayer events, but I've tried to do those in the past, and they didn't really work. Number one, because of the logistics of trying to organize time to do it with people all around the world, it doesn't usually work. What would happen is I would dictate, okay, we can only do it this day and time, and then people would always say, oh, I can't do it, this is unfortunate, and then they wouldn't pledge, or they would pull their pledge and say, well, that sucks, I can't be part of it. It's tough. And the other thing is, of course, again, trolls. They would purposely try to ruin the patron exclusive multiplayer events. They would pledge just to get in and just sit there and troll and be shitheads and ruin the multiplayer experience for everybody. Okay? So, I don't know. I would love ideas on how this works. What would you like to see as part of Patreon? First of all, what would be a good monthly goal? We have 2 weeks left till the end of May, right? We have 2 weeks left. If I could find a reason to motivate people to pledge to my Patreon between now and the end of the month, that would be outstanding. If I could get a bunch of people to now pledge to Patreon, right, to make up for the fact that there's no more subscriptions on Twitch, that would help a lot. But the question is, what is the motivation? What could I do to motivate people to pledge to Patreon between now and the end of the month? What should be the, oh, by the way, King Trevslayer, yes, he says, I pledged last night. Shout out to King Trevslayer. I saw that. I checked it this morning, and he actually did pledge to my Patreon after the marathon stream had ended. So shout out to King Trevslayer for pledging to my Patreon. I wish there was a way to integrate Patreon into the streams, but from what I'm to understand, there isn't. There never has been a way to integrate Patreon pledges into the overlays, so I can't get a pop-up message to show up when someone pledges, which sucks. That would be cool if it could, because then we'd be like, oh, a patron, someone just pledged, and I could go check and shout it out, but apparently there's no real way to do that. I looked into it, and apparently nothing really works. So, it's kind of a manual process. I guess what I could do is check every day and see if there's a new person who pledged to Patreon. If there is, I could shout them out on each stream, right? But anyway. So yeah, right now what I need from you guys is your feedback. What would be a cool event, a special event that we could do, just like we used to do with sub goals. It used to be if we hit this many subs in a month, we're going to do a special event. Right now, the upcoming event is the Retro Replay, right? So what could be the next special event that you guys want to see that would motivate you to pledge to my Patreon to make it happen? That's the question. All right? And I'm not talking about personal things. I'm talking about an overall goal for the month. Like, for example, it used to be, oh, if I get 800 subs, we do a special event, right? So instead of that, it'll be if I raise, I don't know, $1,500 on Patreon this month, we'll do a special event. Because it's about the equivalent. Actually, it's less, actually, because I used to make about $2.50 per sub. So actually, that would have been about $2,000 a month. If they, we're kind of ballparking it here. But I'm just saying, and an example. But what would be a cool special event that we could do if we raise a certain goal on Patreon? So that's what I want to know. Do you want to see the return of the retrospective event? Do you want to see the Rageathon return? How about an Indies Marathon? What kind of stuff would you like to see as a result of us hitting a goal on Patreon this month? All right? And all of you saying cooking with the king, that's not going to happen. That's just not going to happen. I told you I'm not doing a cooking show. I've already explained this a million times. I'm not a cook. I'm not doing a cooking show. I'm not going to show stuff from my personal life outside of my streams because too many people do too many negative things with it. It's not happening. I've already explained this a million times that we're not doing it. Okay? I'm not saying... Now, if your idea was, hey, get the Street Fighter cookbook and read through it on stream and maybe try some of the items from the Street Fighter cookbook and bring them onto the stream to show them and maybe do a DSP tries it of the items from the Street Fighter cookbook, that's viable. That is a viable thing. Yes, that is viable. Because that way I don't have to show other things in my house. I don't have to try to get other equipment working. But as long as it's limited to this stream, okay, that's okay. But I'm not going to be crossing over with my personal life and having all kinds of fucked up stuff happen to me. All right? Okay. Baldy, if I flamed you for that idea yesterday, I apologize. I didn't understand it. There's a difference between, oh, actually go to your kitchen, somehow set up a bunch of filming equipment, film your family cooking together, just to have people tear it apart and be fucking disgusting and toxic. Or buy the Street Fighter cookbook, go through the recipes, find a recipe or two that looks good, actually cook it behind the scenes, and then do live DSP Tries It episodes trying said foods on the stream. That's different. That's very viable in my opinion. Okay? Okay. All right, so that's an idea. Do you think that would motivate people to pledge to Patreon, right? Do you think I say, okay, if we raise $1,500 on my Patreon by the end of May, if we have that much pledged, I'll buy the Street Fighter cookbook and I will do, 2 episodes of DSP Tries It based off of recipes in said cookbook. Something like that. And Ira says, no, not at all. See that? No, absolutely not. No one would pledge to your Patreon for that. You see? So there you go. It's like there you go, right? All right. So anyway, let us summarize, everyone. Number one, I apologize that the panels are not on my channel because of false copyright strikes back on Thursday. I will do my best to get those panels back up as soon as possible, as early as tomorrow. Likely what I'll do is tomorrow morning. I'll try to get in here on the office a little bit, even on the earlier side, and try to reset up those panels again because they all got deleted. So I got to create them all from scratch. So hopefully I'll be able to do that. Okay? That's number one. All right? Number two, we are past the crisis of, the next week of being able to afford everything, thanks to the fact that, number one, you guys were so supportive yesterday during the marathon, and number two, that I did actually get paid for a portion of what I should have earned last month from Twitch's partner program. All right? So that's the good news. The bad news is, long term, if you want me to stay on Twitch, we got to make this viable. We got to find a way. And whether it's raising a lot of tips on every stream to make up for the fact that there's no more subbing or cheering, or whether it's making Patreon desirable to pledge to again, which I haven't focused on in many years. And that's what we really need to focus on between us here on the streams, is what can we do to make my Patreon more exciting? What kind of special events can I do? What would be a reason for people to pledge to my Patreon by the end of this month in the next 2 weeks to hit a goal so that I would do a special event? And what should that special event be? Should it be a retrospective marathon? Should it be a rageathon? Should it be an indies marathon? Should it be a special DSP Tries It event where I buy the Street Fighter cookbook and make 1 or 2 of the recipes from said cookbook and bring those onto the stream for live DSP Tries It episodes? Okay? So, these are all ideas. All right, these are all ideas. So let's brainstorm and let's see, okay? So let's talk about it over the next week or so, because I want to try to set this up. The thing is, I need to set this up relatively quickly. This can't be something that in the last 2 days of the month, there's a monthly goal now. Like, what? No one's going to rush to pledge to my Patreon in the last 2 days of the month. You see? So there you go. All right. So, ladies and gentlemen, that's the deal, all right? Thank you. Yesterday was amazing. By the way, the Mass Effect playthrough so far is great. Mass Effect Legendary Edition, it's not, let me put it this way. They didn't remake the whole game. Absolutely not, they did not. It's the same, exact kind of a deal, same plot lines. They didn't, they didn't tweak anything. It's all the same dialogue and everything. The combat is slightly changed, but not that much. Now every character can carry every weapon, rather than only being limited to class-based weapons.
Thanks for the money, stupid fuck.
The graphics are pretty
These
good.
damn thoughts are
60
getting
frames
old.
really throws me for a loop to play Mass Effect in 60 frames. I've never done that before. And it just feels weird to be playing the game in 60 frames. It does. It looks so weird. But I gotta get used to it. Right? I have to get used to it. But I'm really enjoying it, and I'm very pleased that with 7 hours of gameplay yesterday, we got through the intro segment and all of the Citadel. We're done. We don't have to go back. I think there's maybe 2-3 missions over the course of the game that will appear at the Citadel now. But outside of that, we've done all the Citadel content, so we can focus on all the missions outside the Citadel for the rest of the game, which is great. I'm glad we got past all of that. Okay? Thank you to those who chilled with me yesterday. Thank you to those who supported me yesterday. All right, I appreciate that. I need those. Let's talk about. I really do. I need the schedule for the rest of the upcoming week. Let's talk about the upcoming retro replay event. Let's talk about a lot of different stuff. All right. So today we're back to regularly scheduled streaming. Today it is the continuation of Returnal here on the first stream, which I'm very much excited for. We're gonna try to beat the third bio. I don't know if I will. I've seen the
I don't have money to do it. I don't have money to do it. I don't have money to do it. I don't have money to do it.
I got the second phase and died. So hopefully today I'll have a good run. I'll be able to get a lot of the great equipment that I need, get to the boss, and kick its butt. And I don't know. People are saying that once you beat the third biome, essentially the game gives you a checkpoint, so now you don't have to go through the first 3 worlds anymore. I don't know if that's true or not, but that's what people have told me. So I don't know what actually happens after you beat the third bio. I guess we're going to see. Okay? Hopefully, I can do it today, and we can see the next part of the game. Okay? Later tonight, it is my weekly throwback session of Old School Street Fighter, okay? I do this once a week. Usually it's Friday night, but this week we had to delay it because I did my marathon yesterday. So tonight, Old School Street Fighter. I hope you will join me.
Shut up this dude.
Some good beatdown. 6:45 p.m. Pacific time, okay? Then tomorrow, Sunday, it is the continuation of Mass Effect Legendary Edition, and the good news about this is, yes, we're done with the Citadel. We're heading out on the Normandy. We're going to explore the universe together. It should be a good time. Hope you'll join me for that tomorrow morning. Tomorrow evening, it'll be the continuation of Danganronpa V3, which is my last stream of the week. We're in the middle of a clash trial where we're investigating not one, but 2 different murders. And trying to figure out how they went down. So it'll be very interesting in that regard, because we've never done a double murder like this in the game yet, and I'm curious to see who's done. I have no clue who actually committed the murders or anything. I just have a couple hints. So I guess we're going to find out tomorrow night. Okay? Then I'm off from streaming on Monday. That's my day off for the week. I'll return on Tuesday with the continuation of Nier Replicant. Yes, Nier Replicant is going to now get another focus again as a main gameplay stream. I feel like I should do that because I'm trying to get through the side B run and get to the other runs. And if I only play it once or twice, it's 2 hours, right? I'm probably never going to beat it. So, yes, Nier Replicant returns on Tuesday as the main gameplay stream. The good news is we have big progress last stream, and we are well on our way to unlocking the B ending and then the C and D endings. Okay? MLB The Show will return to the streams on Tuesday night. It was supposed to be Thursday night, but I chose to focus in and finish Resident Evil Village instead. So now MLB The Show will be a late-night chill stream that'll happen on Tuesday night. Okay? On Wednesday, it'll be the continuation of Returnal. Again, I don't know what's going to happen with Returnal today or what happens after you beat the third biome, but we'll continue on with the playthrough on Wednesday. Wednesday night will be new Pokemon Snap.
Play the
a late-night stream, 2 hours of progress in that. Thursday, more Mass Effect Legendary Edition on the main gameplay stream. And Thursday night, if all goes according to plan, will be Divinity Original Sin 2 continuing after taking that week off to focus on Resident Evil Village. Divinity 2 will return this coming week. And then on Friday, more Nier Replicant paired with my Throwback Street Fighter stream. Okay? Now, keep in mind, this is all subject to change. If anything, happens, I will let you all know, if anything changes. But for now, that's what we're looking at. All right? And I hope that sounds good. It's a good variety of stuff in the next week. Now, the final week of May, there's 2 games out that I'm interested in. One is called Biomutant, and the other is called Miitopia. Now, I don't think I want to play both because I'm still going to be in the midst of so many playthroughs. The question is, what should I play if I play either? One of them, I guess, is supposed to be some kind of, I don't know, an RPG hybrid Biomutant. I haven't seen a damn thing about the game, so I don't even know what it is. Miitopia, apparently you make Miis, and they actually participate in, like, this RPG-style game. I don't know. I see, the thing is, I've been so busy and so focused on what we're doing here that I haven't really looked into any of this stuff for the end of the month. I know next month's going to be fun, because next month we got games like Ratchet and Clank and stuff coming out. But at this point, I don't even know. Should I focus in on these or not? I don't know if these are games you guys want to see. I have to look into it, but Golden Cold says Biomutant is a post-apocalyptic kung fu fable with a unique martial arts style combat system allowing to mix melee, shooting, and mutant ability action. What the fuck? Yeah, what the fuck is that?
What do I do?
What is that? I don't even know. What? That sounds weird as shit. Maybe. Anyway, I guess we'll see. I guess we'll see what happens. Let me play games this week, and I'll have to look into it myself. I don't know. That sounds like a weird shit. Is that worth $60? Actually, is it 60 or 70? How? I don't know. Anyway, so anyway, that's the stuff coming out by the end of this month. All right. All right. So there you go. Now, that's currently what's going on. Now, 2 things happening by the end of May. First of all, May 28th will be Ask the King. This is my bi-monthly Q&A show where you ask questions and I answer them live. You can answer questions in multiple ways. You can post them up on my forums, or the day of, you could actually post them up on my Twitter account, or if there's time, sometimes there is, sometimes there isn't, I take your questions live during the actual stream, right here from the stream chat. Okay? So depending on what happens, that'll determine what we actually do during the Ask the King that day. But 2 weeks to post up your questions. If you would like to, type !Ask the King into the stream chat. It'll bring up the link by which you can click on it and post up your questions on my forums. All right? By the way, if you are a patron of mine, if you went to patreon.com/DarkSidePhil and you pledged $20 or more, you are eligible to ask a question on Ask the King and get it answered guaranteed. So if you were already a patron of mine this month, earlier on in the month, you already got instructions on how to do that. If you pledge $20 or more after that, you can message me either on Patreon or email me at darksidefell@hotmail.com and say, hey, Phil, I know Ask the King is now coming up. I'm interested. I want to post up a question. What do I do? Send me that info. I will talk to you and we'll get it worked out. I want to answer your questions on Ask the King. Okay? Fair enough? Okay. So, either post up your questions by typing ! Ask the King in the stream chat, or if you're a patron, you get priority access. All right, I'm excited. I like the show. Can't wait to do it again in 2 weeks. Now, the other event that's going on is the Retro Replay event. This is when I'm going to replay a game from 2015 or earlier that I previously did a full playthrough for on YouTube. But in this case, it's going to be direct capture, live stream, face cam, live interaction with the stream viewers. So it'll be very different than the original playthroughs, okay? You guys nominated games for several weeks. And here is what we came up with. You ready? The Witcher 3 The Wild Hunt, which was actually 2015, so it just made the cutoff. Uncharted 2, God of War 3, Fallout New Vegas, Ninja Gaiden on the NES, the NES version, which I never beat, Alan Wake, and Resident Evil 6. Okay? So those are the games that you guys nominated. Now it is time to vote. So, how do you vote? Type Retro Replay into the stream chat. That will bring up the link by which you can go and vote on which of those games you want to see do a full playthrough. That voting will be open until the final day when I will tally up the votes and determine what game will really do the full playthrough. Now, the one exception is Ninja Gaiden wins. Ninja Gaiden is a short game. That game will be about 2 or 3 hours. Probably incredibly difficult. Alright? So what I would have to do is find a way to play it, and I think it might be on NES games that are on the Switch. It might not be. I don't remember. I have to figure out a way to play it. But likely that would not be enough to do a full play. It's too short. So if that's the case, then maybe what I would do is do that and then also do other stuff with future games. Like that. Okay. But I'm curious. I posted this up yesterday. I had no idea what to do. One day in. Now we can start mentioning it on the regular. Quite frankly, I would be pleased with any of these games. All of these games are outstanding. Like
PayPal
Witcher,
is a
Uncharted,
network
God
of
War,
interconnected banking
Vegas,
institutions
Alan Wake, Resident Evil
that
6.
use
These are all good games,
a magnetic
right?
stripe
and I could see
receptacle
reasons
digitally
why
online to transfer
people would want me to replay
funds
any of
from
these.
one
For
entity
example,
to
Witcher
another
3,
in a legal
incredibly
and
lengthy,
monitored
but
capacity.
incredibly well
it is
done and
reported
detailed RPG.
to the IRS.
We've had so many RPGs in the last 5 to 6 years that don't have this level of meaningful content. It's really cool to see one that has tons of meaningful content. You see?
Can someone please shut up this dude?
Uncharted
who's being
2.
a moron.
The game that took this kind of Indiana Jones
I'm gonna keep doing
living my
adventure
life and really
and
put it
doing
on the map
things
as a
normally,
AAA franchise that was going to have longevity.
It is what it is.
It's a game that I
You get
only
sick, you get
played
sick.
back in the day
But I'm
with
not
camera
stupid.
and
I'm
looked
not
like
living my
shit
life
when
in
I
fear
played
of
it.
a virus that's
so
not
it'd
as
be really
bad
cool
as the
to
common
replay.
flu. That has a
God of
much
War
higher
3,
chance
another
of getting
one.
caught.
Played that way back in the day when I was just using my camera. It's the last real God of War game from that franchise until they changed up the whole franchise with God of War back in 2018. So it really is the last kind of purist combat style God of War game. And to replay it with modern graphics and everything would be good. My original playthrough was a joke. I treated it as a complete joke. I didn't even use upgrades in my original playthrough. So it would be very cool to replay that for real. Fallout New Vegas, I think, kind of speaks for itself, okay? A game that I played twice already for YouTube, but people like the game so damn much they want to see me play it again. Has significant fun content, side missions. Also, you can play completely differently depending on your choices.
Stop this!
Do you want to side with the Republic? Do you want to side with Caesar? Or do you want to side with Mr. House, right? It's cool that you can make those choices. And, of course, the game also has significant DLCs that you can play as well. Alan Wake. Now, that's a playthrough that would be interesting, because I only played the game once ever when it first released as a new game. At that time, I hadn't seen series such as Twin Peaks, which the game takes a lot of references from. And in addition, I recorded that with a camera. It looked like shit. The playthrough, because it's in the dark and you're using a flashlight, the playthrough looked terrible. So to replay that game with direct capture and everything in a modern setting, would probably be pretty exciting and way better than the original playthrough. And then, of course, Resident Evil 6, very pertinent game right now because I just finished Resident Evil Village, and we were talking many times during the playthrough about the plot lines of Resident Evil, and that Resident Evil 6 was a game that a lot of people kind of crapped on because they felt that it was more of an action game than a horror game. It's a game I only played once ever when it first came out in 2012, and I would love to replay it again in a modern setting. Okay? So all of these games make perfect sense to me. I would enjoy any of those playthroughs, so I would love for you guys to vote, please. And let's see what wins and go from there. Now, the voting will continue over the course of the next 1 to 2 weeks, and probably around the end of this month, we will determine the winner, and that game will become an ongoing playthrough. First, it's going to be a marathon. At first, I'm going to do a marathon event where, just like I did yesterday with Mass Effect, I play the game for like 6, 7, 8 hours, all in one sitting. And then that game will become an ongoing playthrough that I will do, in my schedule. Okay? Fair enough? Kaver says, well, we want games you won't enjoy. Well, if that's the case, like I said, we're thinking of ideas for Patreon. Rageathon, right? Do you guys want to see another Rageathon event? Will that motivate people to pledge to my Patreon? Then we can do it, right? Fair enough. That's what I'm saying. All right. Okay. Good stuff, guys. So that's the deal. That's what's going on. We got a regular schedule of streaming over the next week. That's now set up. We've got two events in the future lined up, the Retro Replay and Ask the King. Right? We got ongoing playthroughs, good stuff, and thank God the immediate crisis is averted and we can just go back to normal scheduled regular streams and have a good time together. Now, of course, long term, we got to figure shit out. The same thing, obviously, is going to happen next month, so we got to figure out what can we do to get people to pledge to Patreon and keep supporting the streams, etc. That's what we're talking about, all right? But for now, we're good. We can enjoy Returnal today and have a good time, kind of breathe a big sigh of relief, right? Fair enough. Sexy Jutsu says, was this the first time Twitch has ever paid me on a Saturday? I was thinking about this overnight, and I think one other time maybe ever did they ever pay me on a Saturday, and it was many years ago. Typically, Twitch always pays on a weekday. They don't want to process payments over the weekend. I have no idea why my payment came overnight. Like, it came at 5 in the morning. You saw I posted the email up on Twitter. And by the way, all right, let's get the elephant out of the room. This is fucking hilarious, all right? So I always tell you guys, the reason that I don't try to bother with trying to show evidence of anything that I'm accused of, if I try to prove my innocence, I say, well, I'll show you evidence, and people will just move the goalpost or say that it's fake, right? So that's why I don't bother with it. So at 5 a.m., I'm asleep, and apparently Twitch sends the money. I wake up this morning, there it is, I transfer it to my bank account, I pay bills, etc., and I post up on Twitter, here's the evidence that this happened overnight, this is good news, and I post up the capture of the email showing it's like 4:58 a.m. or whatever. The payment came through. Okay? So I'm all happy about it. Oh, you're a liar. You doctored that. What? See what I mean? What the point is? There's no point in me ever trying to disprove the conspiracy theory bullshit these idiots say, because when you're presented with definitive proof of something, they don't care. They then, oh, well, he photoshopped it. He made it up. He held that email for 3 days, and now he posts it up as if it happened now. You're out of your fucking minds. I just don't care anymore. I just don't care anymore. I really don't. There's just no point in trying anything. There's, people who like my content and people who trust me as a person because I've been one of the most transparent people out there. In over 12 years I've been a content creator, are going to say, okay, this is great news for Phil. Positive news. Now we can get back to normal. And then everyone else out there who's a shithead conspiracy theory fucking loser who believes every piece of bullshit drama nonsense will never believe a word I say. So why do I care to even post up the fucking email? Because I knew it. I said, I guarantee you, even posting up this definitive evidence, they will say it's fake. And that's exactly what happened. Oh, he made that up. Oh, you see, he edited that. Oh, he actually got that 3 days ago. Fuck you. There's no point anymore. There's just no point anymore. They have gone so far over the deep end that there's no point in even trying. So for those who wanted to be happy, great, be happy with me, because I'm pleased that now I can breathe a sigh of relief, at least for the next week, right? But these idiots, I mean, they never let up, man. They never fucking let up. It's always another thing. It's always another excuse. Why doesn't Phil post evidence of this and this? Because there's no way I could show anything of evidence because you will always say it's a lie, so what's the point? People are just out of their fucking minds. Westside Rascal, I can't show you a date because when an email comes within 24 hours, it only shows a time, not a date. There's no way I could show you a date. There's no date associated with that email because it's just a time in your phone. I captured exactly what it shows. So how about this? Stop being a shithead and either believe me or don't, but stop asking for unreasonable bullshit. So ridiculous. Okay. So anyway, guys, it is what it is. Thank you. I'm trying to think if there's anything else. Oh yeah, there's one story I want to talk about today. Well, first of all, you guys know if I barely ever touch upon this anymore. You guys know if you contribute to the stream, I give you a shout out. If you tip me, that's the best way to contribute. But also, if you pledge to my Patreon, you let me know. I'll give you a shout out. I'll check it, and if you're pledged, I'll give you a shout out during the stream as well. Just so you know. But yeah, our goals are in effect. At $50, I'll put on the Gunner glasses. At $100 of tips, I'll put on a vest of your choice. Yesterday it was the platinum vest and then the denim. So I would say today we'll do any other vest but platinum and denim. All right. And you know, I always give you guys recommendations. Please try to protect your identity. Disassociate yourself. Or if you're gonna contribute, don't make it a name that you use other places. Try to hide your identity because these idiots will try to be harassing on the internet if you contribute to streams. Okay. All right. The one news story I want to talk about this morning. I want to see how people react to this, all right? I want to see how you guys react to this live, okay? So, it was announced this morning by supposedly someone in the game development community.
All right, so Gabe Horn is awesome.
That the upcoming Bethesda exclusive release, Starfield, will be an Xbox console and PC exclusive. It will not be coming out for the PlayStation 5, at least at launch. Okay? Now, what is your initial reaction to this? I would love to hear all of your initial reactions to this. First of all, Olapet says, of course it will. Ricky says, as expected.
I don't care.
Crowless says, it's going to be garbage. Powerful 7 says, who cares? Crazy Dream says, who cares? Diligent Doge, no one's shocked about this. Timbo Slice says, well, yeah, they're now owned by Microsoft. Makes sense. It's going to be shit anyway. Well, Xbox actually needs an exclusive. So there you go. Don't care. Ellipsian says, deserved. Sony's starting to become like Nintendo. Interesting. So, all right. So there you go. Oh, there you go. They paid $7.5 billion. It's their right. All right, so here's all this is interesting. I like this. It's a variety of reactions.
And that's it,
because
you're just going to waste our time
something
again.
like this. Okay, here's my reaction. Who cares? We don't know anything about Starfield. This game has apparently been in development with Bethesda for how many years now? 5, 6, 7 fucking years. They've been saying, Starfield,
I need that money. I really do. I need that money to pay my bills.
What the fuck is Starfield? What is it? What kind of a game is it? It could be an epic open world RPG set in space. It could be a turn-based RPG that's a throwback to classics. It could be a first-person shooter. It could be a tabletop card game. It could be fucking thumb wrestling. Who fucking knows what the game is? They haven't told us anything.
Can someone please shut up?
Zero. They've told us nothing at all. We know absolutely nothing about the game. They have kept this under wraps for so long, yet every year they say, oh, don't worry, Starfield's still under development. I don't care. Until you tell me what it is, and until you tell me if it's something I'm going to be interested in or not, I don't care what it is. I really don't care. It's kind of like the ultimate tease. Like, just because it's Bethesda making it, I'm supposed to like it or care about it. No. Sorry, but in reality, when you look at the track record of these big AAA development companies, right, the games that seem to be hyped the most and competing the worst, Bethesda recently gave us huge stinkers, right? Fallout 76, who the fuck is going to forget that fuck up, right? No, I'm not to say that there aren't games that I like from Bethesda. There absolutely are, but until you tell me what this game is, I don't care what it comes out on. I don't care if it's on Xbox,
I have to
PC, fucking Game Boy. I don't care if it's on the Commodore, the Amiga. You know, I don't care if I could play it on an Abacus. I just want to know what it is first. Then maybe I'll start to care. Okay? So, yeah, you know, like, it's hilarious that this is news. And everyone, by the way, everyone on social media is talking about it, freaking out about it. I'm like, why? Why are we caring about something we don't know anything about? Like, it just makes me... The hype machine around video games is insane. People latch on to stories and hype like no tomorrow, and they just go crazy over shit. So now what you have, on one side, you got the Xbots. Ha 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 ha. Finally, we have a giant exclusive, and we're going to get one up on the Sony fanboys. And then on the other side, you got the Sony PS5 fanboys, the PlayStation Nation.
Why are you an idiot if you don't agree?
Well,
because
suck anyway,
when you have factual evidence of something,
how about no one
constantly
care
thrown in
until
front
they
of your
actually
face
tell
and
you what it
ignore
is? Like,
choose
that's
to
what I
believe
don't
something
get.
else, you're an idiot.
People always getting so worked up about something when we don't even know what it is. The game's been in development for so long, and for us to not have even an iota of information about what it is, that to me is concerning, actually. You know what I mean? Like, that's actually a reason to be concerned that we don't know what the game is yet, after how many years of game development, and yet Bethesda still pushes it.
Are you going to just complain all night?
Big.
Just leave that.
Every year, there are big announcements of games that they have developed. Oh, Starfield's still coming. What is it? It could be a fucking toaster. It makes toast with the Bethesda logo on it. I don't fucking know what it is. Now, as for me playing Starfield, I would hope that by the time the game comes out, which, by the way, there's no way it's going to be this year because we still don't know what the fuck the game is. But hopefully by the time it comes out, I'll have an Xbox Series X, you know? Like, hopefully I'll be able to have an Xbox Series X and we won't have this kind of an issue anymore. It won't be a platform guy. I'm not someone who only will play on one console. I'm more than happy to buy all the equipment and play on whatever. You know? It just so happens this unique situation where people have not been able to get their hands on the consoles because of shortage of supply and everything. So, you know, I will eventually get the Xbox Series X, and it's not going to be a big deal at all. But the amount of insane spin and hype and fanboyism that I see put behind a game that we don't even know what it is ludicrous, in my opinion. Ludicrous. I don't know why people get this worked up about shit. Okay. Alright. Does anyone else have any other topics you want to talk about or any other stories before we adjourn so I can take my break, use the bathroom, etc.? I just want to get, you know, I talked about everything I wanted to talk about, but I want to make sure I didn't miss out on anything or there's no hot topics that you guys want to address before we get settled here into Returnal. Okay? What's for dinner today? My wife is making her gumbo. Yes, gumbo. When I get a Series X, will I get Game Pass? Likely yes, considering the fact that the Game Pass system will have incredible value, right? It will have new releases included. It'll have ongoing access to older games. It just makes sense to have Game Pass. What is it, $20 a month, I think? I mean, $20 a month, $240 a year, and you're going to get a ton of exclusives. You're going to get all this stuff. I mean, yes, absolutely. When I get an Xbox Series X, I will be jumping on Game Pass. It just makes sense. There's long-term value there. Battlefield confirmed not a Game Pass game, so the next Battlefield will not be on Game Pass. Okay. I don't care about Ninja signing deals with Powerade. Who the fuck cares? No, there is no okra in the gumbo, but we eat it over rice. Our gumbo is shrimp, andouille sausage, red peppers, a roux that my wife makes is a combination of different ingredients. I think.
Thanks for the money, stupid fuck.
Sure. She makes it. I mean,
Sup guys, just came back from checking to see the dates on some emails I received.
Say thank you and still be on camera, I would do it. That's how it is. We don't have okra. No. In fact, our local stores don't even sell okra. We wouldn't be able to get it even if we wanted it. Oh, okay. I'm actually being told that Game Pass is $15 a month, so it's actually even better value. Yeah, E3's next month, right? See, now we need to start planning for the E3 stuff, right? We gotta start planning for how I'm gonna cover E3. I always cover it. Last year there was no E3, so those plans got dashed. This year we gotta see, when is E3? What's the timing of the digital events? Because what I'd like to do is watch the digital event with you like I always do, and then afterward immediately do my reaction stream. It's always a good time. I always have fun doing that. So I would absolutely like to do that again this year. But got to figure out when it is. I know it's in early June. I just don't know when. I got to sit down and take a look at all this. Okay? It's going to be a good time. Always the E3 stuff is a good time.
Fun.
Who won this console generation? If you're talking Xbox One and PS4, PS4 hands down. PS4 sold more units. We still don't even have solid numbers on how many Xbox One sold. Microsoft was so embarrassed that they were lagging so behind PlayStation, they never released most of their numbers over the course of the console generation. So PlayStation 4 absolutely sold way more than Xbox One, had way better console exclusives. Yeah, absolutely. If you mean current console gen, PS5 and Xbox Series X, there's no way you could determine. There's not even enough console exclusives to make a determination between the two at this point. We have to wait and see because of this unique circumstance of what happened in the last year. That's true, though. The true winner is mobile. The true winner is mobile. Mobile gaming. Mobile gaming, free-to-play gaming, microtransaction gaming. They have completely and utterly dominated everything. Just insane. You don't aim, nothing. You just run. Oh, I'm close. Bleh. Run. Here we go again. Bleh. Run. Bleh. So I think E3 will survive next year. I have no idea. I guess it depends on how this year goes. Again, as I said, I don't even understand why they're even saying E3 exists because it really doesn't. Like, does E3 really exist? No. Not at all, actually. If you take a look, right? E3 is just a bunch of digital events happening at once. But they could have just done their own digital events.
Do you want to play the fucking
why
game?
people are pretending like this is a real E3. It's not. I can't wait to download the app and walk around the virtual showroom.
Someone please shut up this
It's gonna be
dude
very
who's being
exciting.
a moron.
All right, let's get the shout-outs then. Shout out to Super Batcat, who tipped me $7.55 says, sorry that I missed your marathon yesterday. It's cool. Now, here's the thing. Super Batcat was actually one of the people. He actually messaged me behind the scenes. He's like,
very
dude,
confused.
all your panels are missing from your Twitch page. How do I tip you?
Listen,
All right,
man,
I'm
you
like,
suck
well,
ass. We
there's
were
many
winning,
ways.
and now we're
Number
losing
one,
because you are a
You can
failure.
just type exclamation point tip into the stream chat. Number two, you can take a look at the description of one of my YouTube videos where I post up the link to tip me. Like, there's other ways to get around it, even though it's not on the dashboard. All right? Now, I will do my best to get those back up. I will. I understand. There's people who come to the streams. Oh, I want to contribute quick today. Oh, it's not there. What do I do? Thank you for the tip, Super Batcat, and it's totally okay if you couldn't make it yesterday. You know, today we're back to business as usual. Thank goodness. Kang
what do
tipped
I
me
do?
$1.30. He says, do you have a cryptocurrency wallet? Fans can send crypto too. I don't use a lot of fiat money.
What do I do?
It would be much easier to send you Doge, BAT, or Ethereum. No. There's two reasons why. First of all, the value of those constantly fluctuates. And even though you might say, oh, today it's great, in a week it might be worth nothing. It's basically risk. It's an investment. That's not a good thing to be dealing daily dealings with. This is income that I depend on to pay my bills. I can't have that income now be valued at zero tomorrow. All right? So that's number one. Number two, cryptocurrency actually is very different when it comes to tax regulations. All right? When I get paid for any kind of revenue from YouTube or Twitch, that's just considered standard income that is taxable, and I pay normal taxes on it. When you guys tip
that
me,
money, I really
that's
do. I need
also
that
considered
money.
miscellaneous standard income, and it's taxable in a certain way. Cryptocurrency apparently has these weird ways that taxes are determined, and apparently if I were to get cryptocurrency, it would create an insane amount of microtransaction work to do my taxes on. At least that's what my tax guy told me. He says, yeah, did you do any cryptocurrency stuff? I'm like, no. He's like, all right, good. Good. Especially this year with what's happening with cryptocurrency, how the values are skyrocketing. Basically, everything's changing on a daily basis, and no one really knows what's going to happen with tax codes and shit for this. So I don't want to mess with this. I don't want to mess with this. I just want to deal with regular standard income that's easy to work with. So no, I'm not going to mess around with cryptocurrency at this point. Okay? Snow Carl tipped me $1.30. I love how all idiots prove you right. You post proof that Twitch paid you at 5 a.m. today, and they still cry, oh, it's fake. If you had wanted to lie, you would have just said they didn't pay you at all. And you're right. If really this was a situation where I was lying all along, right? Why wouldn't I have just said that I never got paid? Right? Why would I be honest? I want to celebrate with you guys and say, listen, thank you for the support. The good news is the short-term crisis is over. We can all kind of breathe a sigh of relief together. You know, because I'm honest, I want everyone to have that relief. I don't want people thinking that behind the scenes things are terrible and I can't pay stuff when now I can. I'm not a liar. I would never do that. But these idiots think that I am because they just want to believe that. They want to believe whatever, their own negative conspiracy theory bullshit. You're absolutely right. I could have just said, no, they didn't pay me. And no one would have been the wiser. Why would I? But why? I'm not like that. But that's, I mean, these people are fucking assholes. They'll say whatever they want. They're shitheads. Okay. Okay. Alright, guys. Anything else?
I'm gonna need you guys.
Tuck Lee, no, I didn't. I did not confirm anything. You are full of shit. I never confirmed anything. Queen Defender, right now I'm good for the immediate future, meaning the next 1 or 2 weeks or so. I should be alright. Basically, as long as I keep making consistent income on my streams, like I have been recently, and nothing changes, I should be alright. Right now, between the payment from Twitch and what I made yesterday, I can pay my mortgage, I can pay the back taxes, and I'm good for, you know, basically the week. And then after that, whatever I make in the next week goes and pays for the next week's stuff, you see? That's how it's always been. The problem was all of a sudden there was a giant missing payment that normally I would get and it wasn't there. So, you know, right now we're okay. Right now we're okay. If anything changes, I'll let you know. But yeah, for now I'm good. There's no looming crisis or anything. Okay? Fair enough? Okay. Fire Sauce, yesterday was very chaotic, and I will say this publicly. Yesterday was very chaotic. If you guys didn't notice, we had an incredible amount of trolling on the stream. For a reason that they wanted to ruin this very important marathon for me. If you didn't notice, Thursday night I got hit with false copyright strikes. They tried to shut the channel down. That didn't work. So then every troll under the sun tried to come by the stream yesterday and flame and destroy and be assholes. Okay? The moderators did their absolute best. Yes, they did make some mistakes and some people did get mismoderated by accident. On the fly, we tried to fix that. I hate to say it, but some people try to over-dramatize it. Like, for example, one message from They Call Me Jim Bob was accidentally deleted. He wasn't even timed out. A message was accidentally deleted. It was a misclick. And everyone freaked out. Said, oh, they banned Jim Bob. They banned Jim Bob to make me pause in my marathon to figure out what's going on. I'm like, Jim Bob's not banned. What it is these people are shitheads. They come in here and they want to derail my stream. All right? So they will try to make everything be over-dramatized. When they do that, now the moderators are going to wonder what's going on. And you're going to have, the thing is, my moderators are human just like everyone else.
Tevin's
yes,
fault.
Someone might misclick. Yes, someone might misjudge. It's fine. We get it fixed on the fly. It all works out. There's no case that all of a sudden 400 people were accidentally banned. That the shit doesn't happen. It's bullshit. It's, again, the same shitheads who are trying to make it so that I cannot do what I love for a living are here trying to ruin my streams for people. And it makes moderation very difficult. So I want to give a big shout out. I do want to be a big shout out to my moderators for doing the best they absolutely can. All right? It's not their fault if things sadly get fucked up to the point where there's so many people in here trolling. All right? That you can't really keep tabs on it. All right? Just being honest, it's kind of, I feel it's messed up that people want to try to make moderators out to be villains when they're just trying to do their best that they can. You know? Now, here's the other thing, too, and I will say this. There are people in here who are regulars, and they purposely try to push the limits of what they can get away with. All right? And maybe on a normal day, right? Maybe on a normal day, that would have flown. Yesterday was, you knew yesterday was going to be a day when there was going to be a lot of assholes in here, right? Why would you choose that to be the day that you're going to try to fuck around and say stupid shit and push the limits? That's really your fault. Like, you should have known better. than to try to now, oh, I'm going to say a lot of risque shit now. That's just like, I'm really dancing on the razor's edge today. That was not the day to do it. That was really stupid. Okay? So, apologies all around. All right? Apologies all around to everyone who maybe was mismoderated yesterday, and or if you feel that a mistake was made, you can always contact me behind the scenes and I'll take care of it. I already unbanned like 2 people this morning, and, it happens. But it was a very, very stressful, very, very high trolling stream. There was, we had to do what we could to try to keep it under wraps, try to keep it under control. Yes, mistakes were made, but it's all in the past, and now we move forward positively. All right? Okay. Nezuko tipped me $3, said, I'm curious, why don't you ever pick a female character when available in Mass Effect? I always pick them. I think females barely get any reception as a protagonist or main character. Oh, I do. I have. Over the years, I've definitely made females as main characters in various playthroughs where you can create a character. I mean, the thing is, there's not many games where you can do that anymore. Most games, it's always a pre-established character now, right? But, for example, Saints Row. Always in my Saints Row playthroughs, both Saints Row 3 and 4, I made a female character as the protagonist. When I replayed Mass Effect as a Renegade run many years ago, I think that was like 2013, 2014, I did a Femme Shep run in that one. So it's not that I've never done it, it's just in this case, I wanted to replay the game, recreating my character in the new creation engine. I knew that they had revamped the character creation engine, and I wanted to see this time around, could I actually make a character who kind of looks like me, which I think I kind of succeeded at. He certainly doesn't look exactly like me. I think he's kind of ugly. I'm ugly too, so I guess maybe he does look like me. But the point I'm making is, this is very different from the original playthroughs that I did, 10 years ago, 11 years ago, and then the one I did like 7 years ago. This is trying to make it more modernized for me. So I wanted to make the modern Phil in the game, you see? I'm not saying that I would never make a female character moving forward. That's not true at all. Just that in this case, this was an opportunity to me to see, gee, many years later, Legendary Edition, how have things changed, right? So there you go. All right. All right, ladies and gentlemen, I think it's time for our break. Let's take... That's it. Oh, here we go. Now he's talking about WWE champions. So he's a piece of shit. You piece of donkey shit. How about this? How about this? WWE champions. Alright? WWE champions lives rent-free in your motherfucking head. I don't think about WWE champions. You do. You probably know way more about the fucking game than I ever will, because you're an idiot. You're an obsessed loser. I live rent-free in their heads 24/7. Why am I toxic? I love Hulk Hogan's dick. my god, I can't stop joking. I seriously cannot stop joking tonight. Oh my god. What the fuck? Hold up. It's gonna clear up, I swear. Jesus Christ. Okay, it's actually starting to feel better now. Started, but I keep being asked or told by people that I should at least set up 2 quick panels on my
Ziggy Piggy is here.
ways to contribute, because right now there's still nothing. And I guess people are like, you're missing out, because some people might want to contribute and they don't want to type the chat command. So I guess I should do this quickly, although I don't know how quick this is going to be. Yeah, Your Beliefs 316 took me $1.30. Says you can add a link to your tips page in your Twitch profile. It appears in the about box under your stream along with your Twitter link. Takes less than a minute. Alright, I don't know how to do that. I gotta go look. Give me a second. I'm gonna go over to the computer and try to figure it out. I don't know. I don't know. So,
What do I do?
Nothing here.
What do I do?
How the fuck would I know what to do with this? Here it is. This. Okay. Social links.
Stop this!
Here it is. Okay. Where the fuck's the chat now? Now the chat's gone.
What do I do? What do I do? What do I do?
There. Alright. Save? I guess it already saved. Okay. Now let's see if that worked. Yes. Okay. Okay.
Shit.
Oh, okay. I don't know why I'm recording. Oh, that's not good. I never stopped recording the pre-stream. This has all been one ongoing video. Great.
Do you want to play the fucking
Great,
game?
so that'll be completely screwed up on YouTube now. Anyway, alright, so I did it. Your Beliefs basically said, just very quickly in your About section at the bottom of your stream, add links to your tips, and I did. I added a link to my tip and a link to Patreon. So, Now, if people come to the stream without the panels and they're like, what the hell, at least the 2 links are there. I don't know if anyone's going to see that or care, but at least the 2 links are there. Alright, so Your Beliefs, thank you. You're the last tipper, by the way. Your Beliefs, 316. And that jumps us up to $13 in tips for today's stream. Again, thank you guys. 50 bucks, gunner glasses, $100, and choose a vest. It just can't be the platinum or the denim because I wore those yesterday. Alright. Let's get everything set up here. Glasses. The camera looks too big. I gotta shrink the camera. I don't know why the camera is so big. What game was I playing that I made the camera that big? And now it's like super big. Okay. Okay. There we go.
I want to watch some faggot insult some homo.
Gin and Toxic, I have no idea. He says, why is my car registration in May? It just is. It's May. It was due by the 20th. Yeah. I don't know. When I moved here in June or July.
What do I do?
And I think, oh, that would explain it. So what likely happened was, when I renewed my lease for my car, it was in Connecticut. But the guy in Connecticut got it adjusted to be Washington. So he did it a month or 2 ahead of time before I moved here. And then made all the arrangements for the car to be shipped out here. This was many years ago. This was... no, you know what? That doesn't make sense either. No, okay, I know what happened. I'm thinking about the BMW, which was many years ago. That's not what it is. I bought the car in May. The car I drive right now, I bought in May of 2017. Yeah, so it's when the deal was done. When the deal was done, the car was purchased, and the registration was generated in May. So now every year in May, I have to pay for the registration every day. That's all it is. It's very simple. It's when I bought it. Yeah. I was thinking about the freaking, the leased BMW that I had 100 years ago. No, that's not what this was. This is when I got the Toyota back in 2017. So, okay. All right, are we ready to resume with Returnal? Well, like I said, I was going to shrink the camera. The camera's too big. I don't know why my camera was so big. I don't remember making it that big, but oh well. Obviously it was. Thank you, Abu Gaming. I really enjoyed the marathon yesterday, yes.
I want to watch some faggot insult some homo.
Very good. Are we ready? Okay. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to Returnal. Haven't played this in a bit. I played it around the middle of last week, and now here we are on the weekend. And I'm playing it again. I was finishing up other games. Resident Evil Village. Had a marathon yesterday. Mass Effect Legendary Edition launched. Last time around when we played Returnal, I got into the third boss. And the third boss seemed pretty cool. Definitely a bullet hell situation, but, I mean, seems like par for the course for this game the further in we get, right? So, oh, can I deposit another one? Yes. Yes, but I only have one. I'll probably hold off then. We unlocked a shortcut to the boss, which is good. We unlocked a shortcut that allows us to cross a bridge. And that bridge, I believe, is going to allow us to get to the boss in a relatively quick amount of time. So, that's a good thing. We just got to get back to that World 3 access point, which I don't know where it is. Damn, did I just kill two? I think I killed two at one. I think I killed two at one slash. A tropian key. At this point, I'm not really scared of these early enemies anymore. Like, look at that, a double melee kill. Oh, you gotta be kidding me. I was right in front of him and I missed. And now he kills my adrenaline. Yeah, I'm not afraid of these low-level enemies anymore. I fought them so many zillion times that it'd be pretty foolish for me to be afraid of them at this point. Okay. Oh yeah, why am I wearing the gunner glasses? People are like, why are you wearing the gunner glasses already? Honestly, I'm just so used to wearing them now that I put them on for no reason. The carbine? Oh, I'll use the carbine. I'm so used to wearing them that I put them on without actually reaching the objective. So there you go. You guys got a little gunner glasses bonus. Hint. I can't jump up here? Oh, there we go. Not that it's a huge deal. Huh! Stranded Ostrich says you should get Ray-Bans and make the glasses classy and out those trashy gunners. Yeah, but Ray-Bans, I'd actually have, like, be wearing sunglasses while playing video games, which it kind of hinders the experience, right? I won't be able to see. What do we have here? Oh, that's right. This is the optional room where you can get items. Nice. What did I get? A nullification sphere?
Today's been incredibly slow.
I don't know what that does. What's this item? Yeah, nullification sphere. Let me see. What is it? Fixes all malfunctions. Ooh, that's good. Be able to fix any malfunction that I get, right? Oh, you're absolutely right, Pantheon Swaggins. He says, why are you wearing your shirt? The tip's goal for it hasn't been met. I should take my shirt off. You're right. You're absolutely right. Okay. Okay. Prescription glasses? No. The glasses that I'm supposed to be wearing are for distance only. There's nothing in my house that's far away from me. If I drive like on the highway and I'm gotta see things from a distance, then yes, I should be, oh shit. Then I should be wearing glasses, but that's about it. Why do I not remember this room? I swear there's some rooms I still have barely even been in. Oh, look. We got a badass mini-boss over here. Luckily he sucks. What? Oh, fuck y'all. I'm behind cover. Go fuck yourself. Exploding. I don't want the lava. Oh. But I will take this. Mobile lights become integrity. I can heal. Get bands, maybe they unlock new levels as you go more, so level 1 gets harder. Maybe you may be right. Maybe that is correct. Maybe the further in you go, it unlocks new levels in the older stages. You could be right. I don't know about that. Enshake Forever is here. He tipped me $1.30. He says, sorry, I forgot to come by and contribute yesterday. You enjoyed the story of the game. The story is good, except we haven't had any story updates in a million years, right? We haven't. It's been mostly just gameplay. At first, the story was interesting, and now it seems like the story's been completely put on pause for gameplay. So maybe once we beat the third world, then there'll be a story update. I don't know, but guess we'll see. All right. Anyway, so there's 2 doors to go through, and there's apparently a healing item over there. Over here. Yeah, here it is. Nice. Alright, so where's the blue door that is showing? Up here? Yeah, blue door. It's just a stupid, revival point or whatever. I don't care about that. Alright. Oh my god. I'm not gonna talk about this. People are so stupid. I don't have a BMW. I haven't driven a BMW since 2017. Even then it was a lease that I didn't want and was stuck with. The only reason I kept it was because it allowed me to not have to pay a ton of, like, thousands of dollars of fees for ending my lease early when I moved out here back in 2014. We're talking about stuff that's, like, insanely old, as if it happened yesterday. It didn't, so enough of your baloney. Enough of the balonies. As I said many times over the last several years, I currently drive a very, what's the word? A very, I can't think of the word, but basically I drive a Toyota. It's like a mid-range car. And quite frankly, I actually feel that the Toyota is just as good as the BMW that I drove for years. Seriously, like, I don't feel like the incredible extra money that I paid for the BMW lease was worth it. I kind of feel like it really was a waste of money. You missed. Nice. Oh, that guy's stuck. He's stuck on the statue. Couldn't move. It says there's one more. Oh. Take that, asshole. Oh, there's another one. Nice. Okay. There should be something to shoot around here. That's not it. Where is the panel to shoot over here? Now, don't get me wrong. I'm not going to talk junk about BMWs or nothing. You know, when I had the BMW, it definitely... Oh, Hollow Seeker. That's what I want. Hollow Seeker is a much better weapon. The BMW certainly had advantages. First of all, when you get a car like that, you basically get free maintenance. So if anything ever goes wrong, they'll fix it for free. You know, like, you get 100% fixed... free maintenance, and you don't ever have to pay for an oil change. You don't ever have to pay for any of that shit. It's all done for you for free. And then in addition to that, the brakes on that BMW were the best brakes I've ever experienced in any car I've ever been in my entire life. Like, that car would stop on a dime. They're like, oh god, there's like, done. Like, holy shit, I barely tapped the brake and the car stopped completely. You know? So there are some advantages, but, you know, it's expensive to lease a car like that. Is it more expensive than the Lemon that I had before that? The Grand Am that broke down 1,000,000 times and I ended up paying for the value of the car about 20 times? No. No, it's not. But at the same time, yeah, it's pricey. Right now, the car that I have, I pay about... I want to say... Oh, this is second world, and I don't want to go to the second world. I want to say the car I have now, the Toyota, I basically pay about... I would say... maybe $150 to $200 less a month, probably $150 less a month, and the car's just as good as the BMW in anything but maybe the brakes. Everything else is like pretty equivalent. It's comfortable, you know. Mileage has eco features and everything like all these cars do now. Hint, hint, hint. Oh fuck! God damn it! It's too many of them. Crowded my ass. To give some background, because I know some people have no idea what I'm talking about. So, many years ago, we're talking like 10 years ago, I was a very popular YouTuber, and I was making a ridiculous amount of money. And at that time, I had a piece of shit car, a Grand Am, a Pontiac Grand Am. And that Grand Am, like, was a lemon. Like, I had it for the longest time, like over 10 years. And the thing broke down so many effing times. It was the brakes, the transmission, this and that. And I basically rebuilt the car from the ground up. So I ended up paying like 3 times what it was worth over the course of the time that I had it. So when I finally was making really good money on YouTube, being a very popular YouTuber, I said, I want to get a car that's going to be absolutely reliable for me, and I'm not going to have any issues with it, or if I have issues with it, basically any repairs or maintenance would be covered, because I had paid for that fucking Grand Am like 3 times over what it was worth, and I was so angry about that. that I wanted to have completely the opposite experience. So I ended up leasing a BMW. Not buying, because I knew buying probably was going to be way overpriced and too expensive, but I leased it for about, I want to say the first lease was like 2.5, 3 years, and it worked out really well. I really enjoyed the car. Not to say that I made use of many of its features, because I really didn't. A lot of the features I've never used. Like, I had the freaking, oh, if you get lost, you press this button and it dials in to the BMW people. I just dashed off a lead. It dials into the BMW people via a satellite radio or whatever, and it lets them come find you with roadside assistance and shit, you know? Like, I never used that.
Wow, what
Not
a moron.
once.
Maybe you shouldn't have just stood still.
Oh, I can't collect this? Why? Oh, because proficiency gain is disabled. I have to fabricate an item to get rid of it. Oh, fuck that. There we go. Malfunction removed. I have the item to do it. So anyway, you know, I wanted a car that was going to have nice features, be comfortable, but also that I was not going to spend a ridiculous amount of money on maintenance like I had with my Grand Am. So I leased a BMW. There's a BMW dealership that used to be right near where I lived in Connecticut, like right down the street. It was like not even 10 minutes away. So I knew if ever I had issues with the car, I could bring it right in and get maintenance done. And I did. I had maintenance done on it and stuff. You know, no problems. But the lease, here's the funny thing. Was the lease expensive? Yeah, I'm not going to lie. It was. But the thing is, I paid less than when I had the Grand Am, because the Grand Am was constantly in repairs. So it was worth it to actually have that car for the time that I had it. Now, and someone just said, what made you pick BMW specifically? Nothing. The fact that it was close to my house. I'm serious. Like, that's the only reason. I didn't specifically pick that car and say, oh, I love that model of car or whatever. No, it was just, oh, you know, it was near my house, so that's why I got it. Resin enhancer. Okay. Now, over the years, I became less and less of a popular YouTuber, you know, for various reasons. And I was going to move out here to Washington State.
Are you a functional
I wanted to get rid of my BMW
shut up this dude
the lease was still going to run for about another, I think it was like 8 months to a year when I was moving out here. And I contacted BMW and they said, well, the way leases work is that if you end them early, there's a penalty. If you bring in that car early, we're still going to bill you for the remainder of your lease. So you're going to owe us like $8,000 to $10,000, something crazy like that. It was like, actually it wasn't. I take that back. It was about $3,000 to $5,000. I take that back. It wasn't $8,000 to $10,000. That's crazy because it was only like 8 months, like I said. So yeah, it would have been like $3,000 to $5,000 that they were going to try to bill me and say, oh, we got to, you know, you're going to pay it no matter what. And I was like, well, obviously I don't want to pay that. What can we do? And they said, well, what we'll do is we'll extend your lease and give you a new car, basically a new model BMW, and we'll ship it out to Washington State when you move out there. So you'll have a BMW in Washington, and we'll take care of everything, the registration and everything. We'll do everything for you. And I was like, hey, if you're not going to charge me this cancellation fee or whatever, nah, I don't need that. If you're not going to cause...
Do you want to play the fucking
this
game?
cancellation fee... Increase dash cooldown. Alright, increase protection. I'll take that one. Okay. So basically, we'll give you a new car and put you on a new lease, but you're stuck with this lease for 3 years, but we won't charge you the $5,000 to pay off your old lease when you move. You see? So it's kind of like, well, either I take the deal and I don't pay $5,000, or I owe them $5,000 and they're going to basically
get down on my hands and
knees
and say thank you and
but then what happened is when I moved out here,
do
which was, what, 7 years ago, like I said, my popularity waned and I wasn't making as much as I was making previously. And it ended up biting me in the butt because I couldn't really afford that lease anymore. And I was like, shit, I really wish I hadn't renewed it. And I was stuck with that for the longest effing time. I had to basically I was stuck with it till the very end, paying this ridiculous lease that I really couldn't afford anymore. So what I would give you, all of you, a fair warning: if you're ever going to get wrapped into a lease, be sure that you know you're going to be able to afford it, even if you have a drop in income and stuff, because you may not even plan on, you know, it might be something completely blindsiding you, a change in lifestyle, change in income, right? And I certainly didn't expect that. It happened. I was like, damn, now I'm stuck with this fucking car I don't need, has all these features I don't use, and I'm not a big YouTuber anymore. So I shouldn't really be having this kind of expense, yet I do. So then in 2017, when the lease finally expired, I traded the car back. I just gave it back to them. And I got a Toyota, a mid-range Toyota, which is, honestly, for me, it's exactly the kind of car I need. So. Oh, we got to the fabrication room. Oh, I have 265. What's this? Healing item. Enables a more powerful melee attack. Repairs integrity by 5% of damage dealt per adrenaline level. Can't afford that, though. At low integrity, suit auto repairs itself slowly. I didn't want that. I wanted to switch. Hold on. How do I... There. I want to switch for Obolite Siphon. I want the healing item. Yeah, I want the healing item. Large Silphium Vial. Here we go. Okay. Alright, so now I have a healing item. Good. Cool. Increases max integrity by 25%. Nah, I'd rather have the healing item. So there you go. Not too exciting, but people always ask me about the BMW because it's such an old thing. You know, I had a BMW, I think it was 2012 through 2017. It was the two different models that I had. But I would never get one again. It's too expensive, and like I said, I don't use the features. Maybe someone else would take advantage of those features, but I wasn't taking advantage of any of the luxury features of the car at all. Can someone please shut up? Whoa! I killed him. I blew him up.
Moron.
Holy shit! That was crazy. Nice. Oh, look, it's one of her bodies. Yeah, one of her bodies died there. You know what I've noticed? Alright, so did you guys remember when I was playing this a few sessions ago, I'd say a week or two ago, do you guys remember that constantly I was finding these logs from her and it was like a challenge, and if you won the challenge, you get a reward? You notice those are all gone? I haven't seen one in like 2-3 gameplay sessions. I wonder why they all went away. Is there a reason for that? Does anyone know? Anyone know what changed? Because remember, I would constantly find on the ground. I would find, oh, follow the trail of your dead clone or whatever, your dead version of you, and then you find out how it died, and you fight the enemy that killed it, and you get a bonus if you killed it. I haven't seen that in several different gameplay sessions, so I don't know what happened. Like, I don't know why they went away. It's like it's weird. They appeared out of thin air and then they disappeared out of thin air, with no explanation at all. Habib Gaming, today we're doing homemade gumbo. That's dinner today. Homemade gumbo. What is this? Ah.
What do I
melee
do?
kills. The broken fabricator. Oh great, a key was destroyed. Critical malfunction. Delightful. I don't have a favorite brand of chicken tenders. We should be canceled. How expensive is public transportation in the area? For here, it's not a matter of expense, it's a matter of dependability. Sadly, I know for a fact the buses in this area are not dependable. The buses in this area constantly have issues. Oh, here, let's nullify. Nice, I nullified my malfunctions. Shield vial. The buses, they break down, they're late, they have tons of issues, and of course, with COVID as well, all the bus things all fucked up, so... Oh, I don't want the turret disabling. Alright. Yeah, I don't know. Carlton Jr. says maybe there's a finite number of them, and they only show up a certain amount of times in each biome. You could be right, Carlton. I mean, we're assuming. I don't have any answers to this stuff, but maybe you're right. Maybe when we were still trying to beat World 2, they would show up. But once we beat World 2, they don't show up in World 1 anymore. Maybe they only show up in World 2 now. Could be. You might be onto something there.